All right, so let's begin with, can you introduce yourself?
I am Shontice Marie.
And Shontice, what are you known for? As far as I know you, I've known you for being. I know you sing, and based on your covers, you also play the guitar.
I do.
Okay,
I do.
so how long have you been singing? It sounds like since you were a child, right?
Yeah, it's been in the family.
Legacy.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm the last one carrying it on. And so the pressure is on. The pressure is definitely on to keep it going. But I've been writing music since 2000. I took like a little 15-year break. And then I just recently came back in 23. And I hit the ground hard.
When you
Now
say
you're
break,
wondering how old I am, huh?
when you say break, yeah, a little bit, but for the most part, it can't be that much. It's not as much as me. I'm 40, so.
Well, I'm right behind you.
Oh man,
This is my last year in my 30s.
oh what? Yeah, I'll be 40 in April.
Okay.
Now you said you took a 15-year break. Now is that just from like recording and performing, or just
All of it.
playing the guitar?
All of it.
Oh,
Yes.
really?
There was literally a layer of dust when I pulled my guitar out from under my bed. I don't know if you know Dub Seeds. I'm sure you do.
I've heard of it's like a reggae band, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they've been around for a long time. In fact, when I started playing locally with my band, I was in a reggae ska band. And so there was only like three of us. There was, Mintaburu and Dub Seeds. At the time, I think they were just Seeds, but they changed it since then. And then my band, Hazefield. And so we were all running around and, they would pair us. We were always playing gigs together, but then they would pair us with other bands and stuff. I'm not going to say why I left. There's a number of reasons. I also got into law and wanted to pursue that as my plan B. But then I found out that I actually liked it. And so went to school, did all that, got married. I had kids. I have two boys, grown boys. Well, not grown. They think they grown. I've got a 11-year-old and then a 14-year-old. So, well, he'll be 15 this year. I know.
Time flies.
Yeah. And, it's hard enough raising babies. To throw that in the mix, plus, a full-time career. I manage a small law firm now, so it gets crazy at times. But, life happens, and my life took a 180, and so I came back to music to fill that time.
Was there a particular reason that brought you into retirement or for that pause?
I've always wanted to be a musician. The kindergarten, what do you want to be when you grow up? That was always the thing. Law just happened that funded the weekend gigs, The reason why I'm the only one carrying on is because all my family, they played. My grandparents were in a Hawaiian band. My grandma played guitar. She sang. Grandpa lap steel and sang. But they stopped doing that to have their family. And same with my mom. She was in an 80s cover band called Aslan. Mm-hmm. They're from Arvin, on my mom's side. The music comes from my mom's side. But the rock and roll and the country and all that comes from my dad. He's not musically inclined whatsoever. It was my mom. So, but yeah, she left a couple of years before my dad and her got married and to have a family. And so I also was afraid that if I kept going down that path, I wouldn't have the opportunity as well. And so building my career and, settling down, that was something that shifted in my 20s as part of the reason why I left. Well, there was during that break, I'm raising kids and, buying houses and doing all that stuff. There had to be an artistic outlet. I was going to lose my mind. There would be no family. I was going to murder somebody. But so I started painting and, I make jewelry. All my home decor I've made myself.
Nice.
And gardening, garden art, things like that. So while I was away, there was that artistic need that needed to be fulfilled and satisfied. And, all the projects and things that I do, it doesn't make me happy, but not like music. Not like music was just, I was born with it. It's in my blood. So I never even thought I would come back until 24, January 24.
It's been a short while then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at some of your music that was put out recently.
Sorry, 23.
And I was wondering like how long you've been, because I know I saw you on another podcast and you were talking about you started when you were younger. So I was like, oh, I wonder what happened in that gap. Um,
Uh, During my 20s and early 30s, yeah, I was raising babies
yeah, same thing.
and furthering my legal career, which I've been in law for 20 years now. So it's just even that is hard to accept. It's crazy. I don't feel my age.
And then what brought you said you got back into the music. So what was the first thing you wanted to do getting back into music? Was it just brushing up or
I didn't even want to get back into like, so I was telling you, Chris Taylor from Dub Seeds,
okay.
he messaged me out of the blue. And I was already considering, like, I had a few friends
It was in
that,
the air, man.
yeah, it must have been. But he sent me a message, and I, at the time, had a double ear infections. I've never had those before. Apparently, kids get them all the time and stuff, but I was like deaf and in so much pain. And he reached out to me like the middle of January of 23. That's when I started. It was 23. And he was like, hey, I don't know if you're playing anymore, but you know, we got this gig at Jerry's Pizza for Bob Marley's birthday, and we need somebody to open up the set for, you know, like 30, 45 minutes. And so I just wrote back, I was like, you know what? I'm sick as a dog right now, and I could barely hear. I go, but can I get back to you in a week? I mean, we still had a lot of time, you know, to confirm it and then be able to advertise the gig. And so I again pulled my guitar from under the bed and dusted it off. And started playing again, just rebuilding, figuring out what I'm gonna do. 30 minutes. I said, you know, I'm just gonna pull the trigger. I'm just gonna say yes. And then after that gig, I was so nervous. I was so nervous. And since I write music and all that kind of stuff. But when I was in my band, I didn't play guitar. I just sang
Okay.
and ran amok on the stage. But with my acoustic solo stuff that I was doing, that I would do here and there as a kid, and you know, but when I came back, I didn't know how to stand up and play. I always sat down. I've never had
What do I do with
electronics.
my
I've never plugged my guitar in. Like, it was always like a tiny little coffee shop or like a campfire setting. So you don't need any of that. But yeah, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But I felt comfortable. If I was going to be coming back out, I was going to be coming back out with my brothers that, you know, I used to do this years ago. And it was a good gig. I started off okay. But then after that, I was like, you know, I got this like boost in confidence. I could do this. You know, I've got a lot of extra time on my hands now, and I'm going to hit up all the open mics. I'm just going to hit it hard, right? But that confidence wore off fast because the more I was doing it, the more mistakes I was making. Things that, you know, there was one open mic where I went like deer in the headlights. There was 3 songs, usually that's the rotation, 3 songs and you're on a list. And I forgot the lyrics to all 3 songs. It was the most embarrassing thing
cover
ever.
songs or your own songs?
They were my own. That's the problem. And then, like, you know, I think I mentioned on another podcast that I got sung by a bee. I mean, there's just like a bunch of different things that for that first year ramping up. That
Trial and errors.
Yeah, exactly. But I stuck with it. I had fun. I met a bunch of great people and new friends that I've never met before, and even reunited with some that I haven't seen in years. But noticed that, you know, there was a small group of us that were going to the same locations, the same routine. And but then it got to a point where there was places were closing down their open mics or businesses were closing their doors. And so one of the songwriters that I play with, she's got her own music release and stuff too, and she does the acoustic stuff. Jody Ray, she and I started an event over at Ethel's once a month where we go out and scout other songwriters and showcase them.
That's cool.
So, and I've been going up to Ethel's since I was a kid. It's home. I love the owners. We just celebrated our 2nd anniversary, which was really cool. So yeah, I plan on keeping that going.
That's good. How do you feel about songwriting? I saw that you have those albums that you put out. There was a single and then an album. I think 5 songs, at least on
So
Spotify.
it's
That I could find.
yeah, it's Act 2. It's the second
So,
act of life,
so
I
is there
guess.
an Act One
N-
album?
there is for Hayesfield, but you know when we went down to West Beach Recorders in Hollywood to record that, and back then, you know, you were having CDs printed and selling them, you know, so
Hustle.
there was no Spotify. I think iTunes wasn't even around yet. Matt Munoz was doing podcasts through Bakotopia. And so, yeah, this is like, I'm talking 2005, 6, 7. So I still have a CD from Hayesfield. And it's funny because, Henry Gomez from Bug podcast, he found, it's not a secret that I was in a reggae ska band, or that you can find stuff about Hayesfield, especially when Fish Lips was up. You remember Fish Lips? And
so I moved out here for college, and I had heard of Dubsy through a classmate who.
there's
Bro, he was such a person who, when he meets someone who he finds famous, it's like a big deal to him. And so one day he was like, "Yeah, man, I was hanging out at a hotel, and the fools from Dubsy were there. They're like a badass reggae band."
yeah, but they incorporate like that hip hop 90s rap stuff. I mean, just you got to check a gig if you can. They're so entertaining. They've been doing this for a long time and they never stopped like I did. So yeah, you got to go. The hype is there.
I've seen a few places that they were posted that they were going to go up. But yeah, he was all excited about them. And that's how I first heard of Dub Seed. And then the other bands, I've heard of the Mental Budo. They're always playing like random.
They've been around for
everywhere.
over 30 years.
And then the Hayes one, I'm not familiar with it, but I remember this reggae band that was at the fairground, and it was like a short Hispanic dude and a tall black dude on the drums. And those are the only reggae I ever ran into in town.
Oh, I don't think I know.
They look so baked.
I'm still. It's kind of rolls with the territory, I think.
Yeah.
I never agreed with me though. It never. But it's funny because you agreed with everybody else in the band, and so our name Hayesfield. Half of our members were from Porterville, half of them were from Bakersfield, and for the ones that lived in Porterville, there was like a park or a baseball park called Hayesfield or something like that, where they would go and smoke, and so that's where it came about.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's after like sesh spot.
Yes, something like maybe I don't really know. And at that time I didn't care. I just wanted to sing. So Chris reached out to me, and that's why I came back. I don't write reggae music. I did help co-write a lot of the music with Hayesfield, and that CD is not on any platform. No, I don't even do country.
You don't want to call that country? I thought I call it country. I'm so not in touch with anything.
I always have a hard time explaining what kind of genre I'm in.
Hate to put people in boxes.
No. Well, it's just I like so much.
I also don't know shit about music.
And my writing is so different from one song to the next. It really just depends.
You definitely fit on my playlist though when I was listening to you.
Well, there's new stuff coming out, which I can't share yet. But it's kind of getting back to it's infused with some of the Hayesfield roots. So, and these are songs that some of them I wrote over 15 years ago that I'm just bringing new life back to, and get it out there. But there's songs that I actually play in my live acoustic set. I just, it's hard when you're a solo artist. I mean, you want to bring the crowds and stuff, but bands do that. And so the music that I'm putting out is, it's going to be fun. I do country covers, but I don't write country. Again, maybe it's infused with that. I love country though. Like if I'm going to listen to anything, I'm going to listen to country. Blues.
I was going to give you my list of people that I listen to. I think you fit into it. And I hate that, that I keep insisting you do country when you already told me you don't.
I love listening to country. I love to go watch live music. Country's like how I grew up.
Let me drop some names. I'm just going to be annoying for a little bit. I'm going to drop some names and you tell me like, not even close. What the fuck you talking about? All right. So Ellie King.
Yep.
Okay.
I love El King.
Serena Ryder. Grace Potter. Jen Wigmore. Let me see who else I have here. Ryan Weaver.
You better give me that list. If El King's at the top, I'm barely. Here's the thing.
Well, I'm just going
Let
through
me
my
just tell
list
you
that I
this.
listen to. The rest are like French rappers.
There's
German rappers.
some artists that, you know, are out there. They've made it, whatever. They got music coming out. Like El King or whatever. But when it comes to my writing, I don't go out and look for new artists because I don't want any of their style to kind of taint mine, especially when I'm deep in writing at the time.
Yeah.
So, but since coming back to music and doing the whole soapbox thing, I've had to go out and scout artists and be there because it's not just anybody can post a video on Instagram and stuff. I want to see your live performance, you know, and even if they don't have live performance experience, like I'm also looking for kids. It's an all age venue. And again, I remember being 14, 15, having nowhere to go and play because it's not safe or, you know, nobody really cares.
Of keeping the legacy going.
I had some, at the time, I thought I had some really good songs but there was nowhere to play.
Yeah.
You know? So, I'm starting to like really explore artists, but from the time I started writing on, it was just kind of like, I listened to anything and everything, and I never had a favorite. I never had an idol. There are bands that I really like, and like, you know, I'll always love Sublime. I'm a 90s kid, so I love Sublime. And everything before like Pepper became famous. Excuse me. But then I really, really like Ella Fitzgerald and Billie Holiday, like the older stuff. Love Patsy Cline. Sometimes those classics just can't ever be replaced with the shit that's out there now. Some of it's just hard to listen to.
I liked your stuff. I really like it. Really fit the type of music I listen to when it comes to like an acoustic guitar and a female voice. I think which song was I listening to? Like there was like 100 of them. There was like there was a Woman Scorn I was listening to, and that one I really liked it. The drum on it was fucking really like.
It had that like you're running with the horses out in the desert kind of vibe.
I think that it was kind of like a lot of tension when I was listening. I was walking my dog too, so that's part of some of the tension there. But I felt like the drum just kept like hinting that there was going to be this like build of your voice, and then you just kept it chill the whole time. So I was kind of like, was that on purpose or was that something that it was missing or something? But I definitely was like, oh man, I was really expecting her to go into this
crazy
one piece, like this one piece where her voice was a little bit either like really raspy or like very a different tone, a very tone of something like a woman scoring, just kind of like mad. But it was more like a warning.
We just wait. That was the first time I had been in the studio since Hazefield, and even then I didn't know what I was doing. When I was with Hazefield, the producer down at West Beach Recorder was like, he was the one that told me that I needed to start putting an edge or a growl into my voice with some of the songs that we were playing. And so I sound like a little kitty back then, but you know, it's no secret. I'm a smoker. My voice has changed. And then the first year coming back out, I really damaged my vocal cords, but in a good way. They're permanent now. It's permanent. So I can get a little edgier in certain areas. But that recording session I had with the 5-song EP, the Act 2 that I released, I was really, again, like I was a beginner all over. I didn't know what I was doing. I trusted the guys that were there. Parisi, I was working with Parisi before Hazefield broke up, when he had a little spot at Studio 99. And then Cesario is the drummer for Mentaburu and Devin Brinsfield.
Okay.
He was the percussionist on all 5 songs. Well, not all 5, 4. There's one that we didn't release that was just kind of meh. So Faithful Sinner was fully produced by Kyle Appleton. But the other 4, were through Parisi's productions in his studio. Bass player was Ray Sadolsky, and Kyle Appleton also played guitar on there. And then I did rhythm, but I'm not the world's greatest guitarist. I get by, but I gave them the acoustic just audio files, and I just told them to just run with it. And so everything that, I mean, and there was no rewriting, there was no tempo, there was nothing. They just knew what to do. And for somebody like me that is experiencing this like all over again for the first time, pretty much, I'm bringing the songs and they're actually putting life to it. So there was only one thing that I wanted where I was like, this has to happen. And that was Unforgiven. I wanted there to be lap still in there, but that was it. That was my only request. So, and again, I when I listen to those songs again, I'm like, oh, I could have done that differently. I mean, I really didn't give my all. Now, when I play these songs, there's a lot more like emphasis in it and build or the bold areas. But you know, it's a live and learn thing. You know, as I'm recording now, I'm becoming more aware of what I should be doing, and you know, just keep trying to perfect that. It's hard to get in it. You know, when you're not playing live, you're playing in a dark room, you know, or singing in a dark room. And it's just, you don't have that adrenaline running to.
As if it was a show.
I fucking love cereal. And it's easy, especially when I don't have my
Let's
kids.
go off about cereal for a little bit.
I love cereal.
We're like hitting an hour, but we're just still talking. That's cool.
That's funny. We're not talking about music. Usually I'm like ready to go for that. But let's talk about cereal.
I don't mind talking about
I love
it's just about
cereal.
About anything.
I love cereal. When I don't have my kids and it's like summer, it's
they
perfect.
Have cereal. They're like, no. Off.
They usually eat all of it before. But you know, if I have my kids, I'm cooking. I'm not, you know. But when I don't have them, I'm not gonna cook up. I still have not figured out downsizing the portions. I'm like, when I cook for a family of 4. And since, you know, obviously my ex-husband lives somewhere else, my boys have increased their appetite. So my portions are perfect. So, but downsizing that has been hard. So I'll like, you know, just meal prep? No, I'm not going to go through that. I've got other shit that I need to take care of during the week. And so I usually don't cook when I don't have my kids around, but when they're with me, I'll cook. So cereal, though, on my week off, that's a go-to. And tacos de villa. I love tacos de villa.
No, don't say that.
I do.
You know it sucks, man.
The one by
the
my house
is way better.
It's good. What?
The vorame?
I can't do like...
Spice? Tell me no spice. Tell me no cold jalapeno.
Yeah, I do. There's only one thing I get at Tacos de Villa, but that's, and it's got to be, it's location specific. And I'm not going to say because I'm not going to.
Cheeto burrito?
No. But what got me hooked on them was their breakfast burritos. We would swoop some of those up before baseball.
Fat ass meal for me. I'm still thinking about your size. I'm like,
but
dude.
I would cut it in half and save it for later.
Okay, yeah.
But I can eat. Like, if I'm
disciplined,
I can eat. I love to eat.
That's good.
I really do.
Just burn it off all in high energy.
Yeah. I mean, it's starting to catch up with me. That's how it was when I was a kid. Yeah. I didn't even reach 100 pounds until my freshman year in college. So, you know, like, you're my age, right? Your senior year in high school, you have to do like community service, right? In order, it's part of you being able to graduate. That's how it was here in Bakersfield.
Community service.
So but everybody would wait and opt to do the blood.
Mine was court ordered.
Well, at least I waited out until I was out of those like educational places before I started getting in trouble. But no, as a senior, there were things that you had to do, you know, as part of graduating. And one of them was, you know, doing community service. And one of the community service things, I believe that's what they called it, but there would be a blood bank that shows up on the bus, right? And you can give blood. But the requirements were, you know, obviously there's what you're supposed to eat or not eat or drink or whatever so many hours before. But then also you had to be at least over 100 pounds. Well, I was like 92, 93 pounds. And I'm like, this is bullshit, right? And
shakes.
I'd already been working like a year and a half before that, like on But once I got that worker's permit, I never stopped working. And so I'm like, well, what do I do then? Like everybody I know is over 100 pounds, and except for a few people, little scrimps over here. And so they said, well, you can go and provide, volunteer services to, whatever, wherever. And I go, well, I have to work too. So can like an hour or two of my time at work be volunteer to the public, like to the community, whatever.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I was able to get to work 2 free hours, which I would normally be getting paid for, to satisfy the requirement to meet the community service.
That's what's up.
Thing, which is really stupid. I should have been more thoughtful in
I did
what
my community service picking up cigarette butts for a library.
Are you sure that's not like work release? I'm just kidding.
It was actually part of my probation. I had to do like so many hours. And then the Catholic church next door to the library, the girls would come over and smoke cigarettes. And then I remember like hearing about camels for the first time. These girls were like 12 or something smoking camels, like fucking crazy. Not even that. I think they were younger than that, but they're smoking camels and then throw them on the floor, and then I had to pick them up every shift. And
well,
I love to read, so it was kind of cool because they would kind of like just tell me to just sit down and read. So I would like organize stuff, put the books away, and if I had free time, instead of just saying, "Oh, I'm done, let me go home," I'd be like, "This is where I milk the hours," and I just sit there and read.
Yep.
I look at the old books behind the case that you couldn't really check out.
Oh, that's cool.
I learned about like the different book systems. I learned a lot about like speaking the legal part. I remember one of the coolest people I ever thought when I was young were librarians, and not like because they read.
No, they're really
because they were like down about like not letting the government get copies of like what you check out. I remember they were like burning.
Oh, really?
They were burning all the
like book cards to check out like
all your book cards. They started burning them and getting rid of them because the government was like requesting them to like know what you were reading, and like it was the first time I ever heard of people standing up to the government. It was librarians, and I thought that was cool. I was like, oh, that's fucking cool that they're not just like. It was the first time I ever heard of like civil disobedience or like some type of like descendants, right? Where like they're like, no, hell no, we got rights. And I was like, what's going on? And like I'm hearing I got in trouble, and I'm like, I'm in trouble, and then they're saying, nah, fuck that, you're not gonna do that, and you're gonna tell us what to do. And it was just like, what these guys are these ladies are gangsters. These ladies,
little Peggy over there with her little eyeglasses.
Peggy is certified.
Yeah, that's so funny. You spend some time with older people like that, especially in a library. But like people that have just lived and listened to them, I mean, you can find out a lot of pretty cool stuff.
What cereals do you eat?
Cereals?
Yeah. What's your top?
Okay, I don't
top
like
3.
Top 3.
You gotta rotate them.
Okay, yeah, you do. Agreed. I like Life, like an old person. I love Life, the original, not
Honey
the
Bunches of Oats,
not any of that. Honey Bunches of Oats with almonds. That's my second.
Yeah,
it's funny because my dad used to get all those. And I'm like, this is so nasty. Like they're not even good. Like tricks. You want tricks. You want
the first time you start eating them, they like hurt your jaw and shit because you actually got to chew that motherfucker.
Right. You're talking about the little like granola clusters.
Cranberries. Like you're eating and you're like, my own fucking mom hurts. But I was like, eating.
It's so boring. You might as well just get like frosted, not even frosted flakes, just flakes. Corn flakes. But now that I'm getting older, those Dino Bites. If you eat that for a couple days, things don't come out right. The colors, all different colors. And I'm learning that with my son. My youngest absolutely loves Dino Bites. But I'm like, we got to switch it up.
His shit streaks and his laundry are different colors every week.
I'm going to tell you how I found out. A lot of them don't really pay attention to what they do in the bathroom and then just take off. So I'm like, are you okay? First, are you okay? You got a rainbow fucking... is everything good?
Streak.
But then I'm like, okay, what are they eating? Oh, and I talked to their dad and stuff, and I'm like, hey, what kind of cereal have you been getting them lately? But yeah, okay, so the kids, obviously, and I can agree, when I was a kid, I liked the Trix, I liked the marshmallows, the Lucky Charms, whatever. But today, I'll get Life for sure, Honey Bunches of Oats, and third, I've always liked honeycombs or Pops.
Honeycombs. That's a classic too.
And the Reese's Pieces ones are pretty good.
You know, I haven't had that.
You got to try
I
it.
love Reese's.
Good.
I'm a big Reese's.
It's like, do you like Kicks? I like Kicks too.
Yeah, I liked Kicks for a while, but I really got into. I prefer like Apple Jacks, Frosted Flakes,
Golden Crisps.
No, I did Captain Crunch for a little bit, but my go to usually is like Cheerios, Honey Cheerios.
Really?
Frosted corn flakes.
See, those are the two my grandma always had. We didn't like them.
Yeah, well, my parents were old as fuck, so
but if that's all I had,
trained me.
It satisfied the cereal craving, you know.
I don't think I ever. I think for a while I wanted like Cocoa Crisps, and then I tried it, and then it was just kind of like the chocolate would like dilute.
Are those the ones that are like little cookies?
Yeah.
My oldest likes that.
He goes cool.
Oh, I'm dead. Yeah, I didn't start getting that, or I've never really tried it until I bought it for the kids once. But we always had like, you know, the bags. We got the bags. We didn't get the little box. We didn't get the
family
boxes.
pack, the family value pack.
Yeah.
So then let me ask you this. This is my next question about cereal, because I don't fuck around with my cereal.
I know.
Tell me about the bowl size that you use.
It depends on whether I ran the dishwasher or not. I'll get Tupperware. I don't give a shit. No, but I have regular size bowls.
Oh,
but
no, I use the full bowl.
If I still want more, I'll make another bowl. I'll get up and go. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm trying to finish the whole thing in one session. I got the baking bowl. I got that baking bowl in there, big old glass.
Like bowl. Ice cube with the water. I'm dead. That's funny. There was one time I did, but I didn't really put a lot in there. I was moving, and so I had to use what was around or what I could easily access. And
this guy that I met, and he was like trying to say how poor he was, and he was like, "I'm so poor. I use powdered milk in my cereal."
Yeah,
and I was like,
I've never had powdered milk though, but
I've never had it, but I was like,
you're curious, right?
Crazy. Like how
are you curious at least?
I've had powdered water before.
What? Powdered water? I'm dead.
Some people don't get that. Some people will be like, really? Okay.
What is it like? Calcium builder? Like
water. So you had water to water?
Yeah, no, that's funny. I'm gonna steal that. Well, I'll walk up to people like, hey, you dropped your pocket. They're looking. Like, you can't drop.
Fuck. They're like,
oh my God, that's so funny.
Doing that shit. I was like, oh, what? So tell us more about the Soapbox. I know it's a program you do with children as well.
No, I would like to start getting. It's hard to find little children songwriters and stuff that have serious stuff that, you know, just no avenue to play or experience and want to gain the experience.
Sign this contract. Nice.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't get paid for it. It's all volunteer. I do it once a month. Jody is another singer songwriter around my age. She and I will set up at Ethel's on the second Tuesday of every month. Mm-hmm. It's all ages. They have their Taco Tuesdays and no cover. You can come, and when you come, you know that you're coming to listen to original music written by local artists here in town. So you can come with family. You can just hang out. They got a full bar too, so they serve the families and, you know, the adults. And but yeah, it's there's so much artistic talent here, especially when it comes to music in Bakersfield. And that was one thing that I always struggled with when I was learning how to play and write my own music. That there was nowhere for me to go. So the Soapbox, we've been doing it for 2 years. Every month we go out and we bring 2 people up. And initially I just wanted it to be them because I can book gigs now. You know what I mean? My own gigs. Mm-hmm. But the owners wanted us to play also for our time and, you know, whatever. And it's live practice. So myself and Jody will play, but then we'll bring 2 people up and have them play. And for 2 years we've been able to get by with maybe like 1 or 2 events where we had recurring artists, but that's only because it's new stuff coming up or things to promote music that was being dropped. And so, and they asked for it. So, but yeah, I've still got like a long list of people that I need to go out and scout, check out their next live performance, and then get them set up and booked for one of the months, you know.
She's here.
Who? No. I usually come in like a night ninja. I stay on the back.
There's a scout in the audience.
No, but I'm scouting for Ethel's. For me, for fun. And I love the arts. I've listened to so many like local songwriters, and we're all in our different worlds, and our interests are obviously so different, but the way it comes through in their music is really cool.
It's interesting the person who can write a song, and I've heard artists who, I mean, they talk about writing since they were like young, and you see like old videos of them going to like talent shows and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck?
You remember Star Search?
All that, yeah, right.
Oh my god, that was like the American Idol of the 80s, 90s, right?
I did no sports growing up, none of that stuff. I just was like out doing
I only did it if it was like school funded. Like my parents never put us in. Like I wanted to do brownies, but I was like, well, come on, we're going up to Kelly Auntie to, I'll teach you how to build a fire and all that. You don't need to deal with them, whatever. Yeah, so I didn't do any of that either.
You got Marine training.
It was not fun.
Do the face paint?
No face paint. No.
Sharpen knives and shit.
It's survival 101. Like
booby traps? Did you do
booby traps? No, I didn't do booby traps.
No, the Rambo.
It was more of like
in my head.
In your face, that kind of stuff.
Making a deerskin coat?
No,
just like get a fire going.
I'm not like chiseling down people's bones to like make skewers for food or whatever. No, it's not like that. It's more of just like, if you were stranded, how would you survive? What kind of plants do you stay away from? Where should you go? Upstream, downstream, things like that. Like, and if it's cold, if it's hot, it's like you got to think about the elements, because that's what's gonna fuck you up.
Could you do one of those naked alives? Staying.
I watched that for the first time like a year or so ago, and I was like, what in the royal fuck?
They don't know what to do.
First of all, I wouldn't be naked in the woods unless like that was, hell no.
Yeah, I don't know if they have to stay naked.
Why do you have to be naked? Can you just?
I think it's the whole like having
the
nothing,
elements, right?
The element of having nothing. But I think at some point you're supposed to make clothes, and they don't seem to make the clothes.
I don't know, but I just remember going like, "What the fuck?" It's the title literally is the show, and these people are getting like eating fucking frogs or touching things and getting all these rashes, and they've got 105 temperature, and I'm like, they're butt naked the whole time, and I'm like, this is so dumb. I don't watch TV. I just can't. I'll watch documentaries, Netflix. I'll do the History Channel, things like that. Disney movies, I'll watch that shit too. Older movies, sure. But TV shows, I just can't. I can't. I got too much shit to do. And some of them were stupid. I was just the whole time, I was like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? It just makes me angry more than it does like entertained. Stressful.
I've watched a couple episodes when I got binged on it for a little bit when I first heard of it, and I was like, "This shit's fucking crazy."
It's probably funny though, right?
It's funny in that their personalities suck, and you're like, "No way, these people stayed alive this long."
It's like awkward.
The production was keeping them alive because they're fucking idiots.
Yeah. Well, and then there's
one is like depending on the other.
I've seen probably like 2 or 3 of them, right? Like they had to call in for medics. Yeah, it got that bad.
You'd figure it out.
First of all, I would never sign up for a show like that.
Could you survive that though? Like
Could I?
Just
it
butt
depends.
naked in the middle of the forest.
It depends.
You don't know why you're there. There's no context.
Jungle, probably not, because I've never been in a jungle. The geographical
Sequoia National Park.
Yes, I sure could. But the geographical area, wherever there's some of them, like again in the jungle, some of them are in the mountains, some of them.
You get one thing to take to. What is the one thing that you have with you for whatever reason? You wake up.
It's like Castaway, a knife.
One knife.
I love knives.
What kind of knife? We're talking like
a machete, if I can. I'm just kidding. No, I mean
machete.
Rambo knife. Well,
like one of the marine knives.
Swiss Army. Well, that's got a bunch of more things than just a knife, but yeah, I always have a knife on me. They're all different sizes though, and it depends. But yeah, a knife for sure.
Yeah, probably a bag of weed.
Well, you didn't.
With the essentials,
bring like
the essentials, like rolling papers and
with a little machine that puts it together or whatever. I don't know.
Something where I could smoke it and then like just go for a trip. Because at this point I gotta walk and I gotta relax,
man.
Well, it's not, but it's like also like, hey man, you know what? If I die, at least I had a good smoke, and then if I survive, it's like a really chill story. Like, bro, I just was smoking. I just followed the fucking moss, bro.
I'm dead. Oh my God. Oh, well, I mean, shit, you didn't say that. But oh my God. No, I wouldn't do a naked and afraid thing, but yeah. A knife. And then I would find shrooms. I'm just kidding. Yeah, but like you can't roll an ice chest through that motherfucker.
Nah. You can have a bag of weed. All right, so we covered pretty much a lot of stuff.
A lot of random stuff, which is cool.
And that's really how the podcast is. It's not no agenda of like, oh, like definitely like touch on what you're known for, how you came to my attention, and then like maybe some of the lessons from it, what you do day to day. So we covered all those things. We talked about family. Some of it obviously we'll cut it out just because maybe like we went off topic and we never answered it, so there's no point in keeping it because it's just like
that
random.
Or we dropped
cereal. We went off of cereal a couple times, but we're like, I don't think
everybody can talk about cereal.
Cereal's dope. Just a last minute statement, and then where can people find you?
Oh, okay. So it depends. I just got the social media platforms for Soapbox up. So if you're looking for me, my music, or me on social media in general, both Instagram and Facebook are Shontice Murray Music. And that's, you're going to spell it out, right? Because it's SHONTICE Marie Music.
I'll put it in your description.
I see. And there's no underscores. There's no none of that. So, but then I also, and they're in the very amateur stages now. If you're interested in the Soapbox, if you're a songwriter or you want to come and see songwriters, you can reach out to me also on Facebook or Instagram. It's Songwriters Soapbox. No underscores, no none of that. Easy peasy.